Anderson of the USA lifts 330 pounds on his first try at a body weight of 310. And now Anderson handles 402 pounds, the new champ. And brother, he can really toss his weight around.
Mountain of a man, Paul Anderson of Georgia, who thinks nothing of lifting over a half a ton in a meet. 440 pounds in the clean and jerk for a meet total of 1,175 pounds. Paul weighs 320 himself. 2 new world records for Paul Anderson of Toccoa, Georgia. What a man!
And even right up to his appearance in Melbourne, Australia for the Olympic Games, Paul followed a routine that he had personally developed, using homemade weights that many times came from the junkyard. One of the most famous pictures depicting Paul's equipment were those showing him working out with a set of iron wheels attached to a huge steel bar which he used in practicing his squats. Most on earth could not even squat down with the tremendous wheels once, but Paul squatted with the wheels on a daily basis over and over again, working with his huge 36-inch thighs. Other homemade weights show up in his old 1955 film footage taken during one of his daily workouts, such as these huge 55-gallon steel drums filled with concrete, and weights suspended from a tree in the backyard with the use of chains. After witnessing his lifts personally or later on film, many describe Paul Anderson as just pure brute strength. Not only must we take into account the manner in which he threw the weights around, but we must look at the manner in which he prepared for these lifts and the supportive equipment he failed to take advantage of. Lifting experts cringe and shake their heads in amazement when they look at old photos and footage of Paul walking on stage and without any warm-up squat world record weight, wearing an old pair of tennis shoes, or worse yet, no shoes at all, and no knee wraps. In many photos, Paul was shown wearing street clothes and dress shoes, as if he had just walked off the street to try his hand at a lift. Today's lifting suits were non-existent during his time, and though available, very seldom did he wear a weightlifting belt. Later in life, he usually wore a pair of his favorite cowboy boots when squatting or doing his famous back lift that contained a table loaded with people. The young man from Toccoa, Georgia, after only some 36 months of competitive lifting, had just broken the world record by 22 pounds, the biggest margin in history. Some Russians responded that the American's record should not be counted, for they insisted he was not a normal person. His imposing 340-pound figure that now sported a 23.5-inch neck, 22.25-inch arms, 58-inch chest, 47-inch waist, and 36-inch thighs, coupled with the ease with which he lifted the world record weights, left more than the Russians awestruck, for what people were seeing was a raw power such as had never been seen before, and what many people believe will never be seen again. Who was this huge lifter, they asked themselves? Was this a joke? Did he really think he could possibly lift such a tremendous weight? The audience quickly drew quiet as the colossal American wrapped his hands around the bar and began to throw the weights up, and without expression pushed the weights overhead as if they were toys. Anderson recalls that the whole park fell dead quiet and that all you could hear was the patter of the rain drizzling from overhead. After the crowd realized what they'd just seen, the silence was broken with a tremendous applause that shook the stage. One elderly Russian stated, "I can die happy now. I have seen the greatest thing in history."
Now have a look at Paul Anderson, the world's strongest man, who tosses his weight around, a 400-pound weight. Nice going, Paul. What do you think about 435 pounds? Paul strong-arms his way to a new world's record, 436.5 pounds, and brother, he really gets a lift out of it.
Now meet 22-year-old Paul Anderson, student of Toccoa, Georgia, a big man on campus, no doubt. That's that, a fantastic total of 1,030 pounds, 410 in the press alone for the World's Championship. Quite a boy, that Paul Anderson.
Paul brought a gold medal back to the United States. Paul Anderson is the last American heavyweight lifter to ever win a gold medal in the Olympic Games for the United States.
Are you Paul Anderson? And yes, and I love to be recognized naturally, and because all athletes do, especially old athletes. But I would cringe then just a little bit because they say, "Are you Paul Anderson?" Yes, and then they're going to say, "How much can you lift?" And I've heard that 10 million times. So it's real refreshing if someone comes up and says, "I am a fortunate person. I'm a world and Olympic weightlifting champion." In other words, I am the very best in my chosen sport. It's a thrill to be an Olympic champion. When you win the Olympic Games, they put you up on a big pedestal, raise your flag, play your national anthem. A thrill. There are 3.5 billion people on the face of the earth. They call me the strongest man in the world because I can lift over 6,000 pounds at one time, more than anyone else has ever lifted. Now these things I say not boasting. I'm saying these things to make a point. Yes, it's a thrilling thing to be an Olympic champion, called the strongest man in the world, but the greatest thrill in my life is being a Christian. Having the opportunity to stand up, witness for Jesus Christ. Now friends, don't misinterpret what I'm saying. The greatest thing, yes, because God giving his son is the greatest thing that ever happened in the universe. So, if he lives in my heart, why, it's the greatest thing in my life. And I want to shout about it. You know what kind of bothers me sometimes? Clod kickers. You know, people that stand up and say, "I'm a Christian, I'm not ashamed, Jesus Christ," all that mess. You should holler about it. And let me leave you with this thought. And I will not qualify the statement, I don't have time. But I am called the strongest man in the world, but I could not get through one day without Jesus Christ. So if Paul Anderson, more strength than anyone else around, has got to have God through his son Jesus Christ, the guidance of the Holy Spirit, if you don't have him, you're not making it at all. I used to think I was making it, but I couldn't make it for sure through one day without Jesus Christ. Thank you and God bless you.